through another political swamp thick with nonsense and bad intentions. Let's cut through the poo-poo and throw a little light on the chaos before it buries us all. We don't care if you chew gum during the podcast, but no blowing bubbles. Alrighty then, without further ado, here's Nick and Bubbles. Steve. Holy moly. Take it away, gentlemen.
We're going to jump right in. Welcome to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, your political midweek review. How about that?
Yeah, jump right in. No bibble babble, okay?
No. I get
maybe a little.
I don't know. People say, get to it, guys. Get to it. I'm like, dude, go watch a tiny video. This is a podcast. Come on.
I was going to say, this is an hour-long podcast. If you don't have the attention span for a small amount of babble, then I'm not sure what to do for you. Maybe we should try a show one day. Or let's just see how many headlines we can get through. Just 30 seconds. Next.
Sounds exhausting. Yeah, you gotta ruminate on some of this shit because it's just mind-blowing most of the time. So, yeah, I don't know. We could try it sometime.
Honestly, this is what Nick and I do for fun, you know? So thanks for listening in. You guys are the Vocal Minority. Feel free to chime into the comment section and email us. You can go to thevocalminority.net. It's our website. It's pretty much only there for you to contact us directly. Speaking of which, should we address the angry listener from last week? Get that out of the way?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So Nick and I were talking about the fact that there's a bunch of bigots in this country that will never change. They just need to die. Like, there's a generational thing. Every generation, there's a little less bigotry. It's taught, it's passed around generation. But there are some people that we're never going to get them to vote blue or for a minority or for a woman or a gay person. So we were saying these people just need to die.
And sort of attached it to boomers in the conversation. We were, inadvertently.
I mean, it's referring to older people, clearly. And so a older listener, who apparently is a big fan of ours, emailed Nick and I and was very upset. She was saying, or she took it as that we just want all old people to die. Just everyone over the age of 51, I guess, just go ahead and die. Yeah. And she was like, if we die, it's just going to be the old MAGA asshole still around. I thought it was implied by the context of the discussion, but we were referring to old bigots who I would assume vote MAGA. Yeah. So, if you're an old bigot voting blue, then I guess good on you. But otherwise, no. Old fuckers that are just racist bigots do need to just age out and die. That does not include anyone who is older and who is a Democrat. Obviously, we need as many of you as possible.
Yes, dude. If you stand for something and you're willing to change your mind if you find information that changes your view that's factual, welcome to the party, dude.
Well, and this woman said, I've been voting Democrat my whole life. No universe were we talking about somebody like you. So I'll just take blame that somehow we got that askewed. I think it was obvious, but just in case. No, older Democrats of any age, but especially the olders, because you guys vote more for whatever reason. So, yes, we love you. We want you. We need you. Okay.
And most of those boomers, by the way, I find and I don't say that to be disrespectful, baby boomer, most of them I find are hey, children are our future. Look at our youth go. They're charged up about the change that's trying to happen,
Right. So. I almost, Nick, in my email response, which I thought was very, democratic of me and open-minded and all that, I almost said, she was saying she was 70. I was like, hey, listen, Nick and I are 50. We're almost in the same. And then I was like, no, don't start connecting yourself to 70-year-olds. I feel old enough hitting 50. I don't need to equate that. It's still a lifetime away.
Yeah, lifetime away, dude. We're nowhere close, Steve.
I mean, think of your life at 30. That was 20 years ago. So where will you and I be when we're 70? That's really a whole nother lifetime away.
Yeah, you're right, dude. That makes more sense to me when you put it like that.
Exactly. But that's assuming we all survive Trump and everything going on in this world, and you and I don't end up in, some ice hellhole because we look like we're foreign for some reason. They'll come up with some reason to lock us in a hellhole, so...
we'll see. We can't predict the future. I mean, sometimes we do it here on the show, but,
True. Yeah,
not reliably all the time. So,
no. All right. Before we get into some of the major topics we have, there are a couple of breaking news stories that have come out today that I think are worth mentioning at the top here.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me what they are.
Okay. First of all, I mean, we have all been watching with shock and awe at what has been going on with the East Wing of the White House, where Trump just unilaterally decided to knock the damn thing down and is trying to say that, it's no taxpayer dollars are going towards this. So apparently he thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants. And I have seen several mega idiots online, including in my own personal Facebook circle. I don't have mega friends, but they have friends, and they comment on posts and whatnot.
Sure.
They've tried to say, well, hey, it's not costing us anything, so what do we really care? And, I mean, first of all, it is costing us history and preservation. It's also costing us any of these bribe donations that Trump is putting into these projects. Like, that's money that could be better well spent. But it is a bribe. It is being done to curry favor with the president, and no one should be in favor of that.
I don't know anyone patriotic enough to say, I'll give you a few billion, for this.
Right. Yes. And we have more bribe money to talk about later. But so as of just new today, in like the last hour and some change here, a judge orders Trump to halt the now $400 million, originally it was $200 million, the White House ballroom project. It is put on hold for now. A U.S. judge said today that President Trump cannot construct his ballroom on the site of the White House's demolished East Wing without approval from Congress.
What's that?
What is Congress?
Yeah, what's approval from Congress? He doesn't really have to do, he's never had to do that before.
I was going to say, the Congress, Nick, used to be a co-equal branch of government.
Oh.
And they get to control what money is spent and if we declare war or not. That used to be what they did. But
sorry, I was confused, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently now they're going to have to chime in. This whole thing is on hold for now. U.S. District Judge Richard Leon granted the request for a preliminary injunction by the National Trust and Historic Preservation, a nonprofit organization that has brought a lawsuit. Leon, by the way, appointed by George W. Bush, so Republican, quote unquote.
Okay.
He had a great quote. The judge said, quote, "The President of the United States is the steward of the White House for future generations of first families. He is not, however, the owner."
Oh, wait. Well, Trump's not going to take kindly to that, dude, because as far as he's concerned, I mean, he is the owner.
Of course. And he's already done a little true social temper tantrum meltdown over this whole thing about what I just said. This is a great thing I'm doing, and the White House has always needed it, and no taxpayer dollars are being spent. Just people are bribing me.
He's in the Oval Office speaking about it live right before we went on the air. I was listening to him for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. And he was even measured and mature about it.
Yes, for sure. He was. Dude, now details are, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I miss it sometimes, but details are coming out in this conversation of him talking about the fact that not only is this a ballroom, but we're going to have hospitals underneath it, this is for national security. And that, I think, is the direction he's going to take this. It's no longer so we can bring President Xi and other dignitaries into the equation when they visit. I think he's going to, again, use the power of, wartime, whatever, national security emergency, Steve.
We're going to move Euro Disney to the basement of the ballroom. It's going to be a whole thing down there.
If you don't think that it is a little, I don't know, maybe it's coincidence, but I don't think so. He was on Air Force One. I believe this was yesterday or maybe the day before.
I think it was bragging about the ballroom.
Yeah, and Sunday. Okay, he got on this airplane and in perfect boomer fashion, brought some stock card in and watched this video, and you can show. Here's the new plans, and I got things to say about these.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi, I'm here.
Let's go. It says it's playing, but I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it's reconnecting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Don't worry, people. We're
For 150 years, they've wanted to build a ballroom at the White House. And other presidents have wanted it when we have dignitaries coming like President Xi of China or anybody else. we have very small rooms. They're not big enough to handle the kind of capacity that you need. And this is the same height as the White House. It's an incredible fitting. You see what that is, right? Nice.
Yeah, it's a picture.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Just show us more.
Here's another view. This is coming from right opposite the Treasury building.
This is all he cares about.
Beautiful.
Completely.
Capitol. Beautiful building. And
It's another press
I think
conference
it'll be
where
the
real
finest
questions were
ballroom
being
tonight
asked, and then
anywhere in the world.
he does this.
A
Yeah.
lot of people are giving it really good reviews. Some are giving it reviews without even seeing the building because this just came out.
What does that
today.
mean?
These pictures we just made today.
Some are giving it good reviews. That means
Without
people want
seeing it.
Right.
And he says that. Someone giving it great reviews without even seeing it, Steve.
I mean, he's talking about like True Social. I posted it. A bunch of people love it.
Yes.
Other haters, they haven't even seen it and they hate it already. I mean, so many architectural experts have pointed out like staircase goes to nowhere. Those pillars are blocking the windows. Like, I mean, it's a rendering. I get it. But, show us some blueprints. And either way, the whole thing's a fucking atrocity. It dwarfs the actual White House. Nobody has been begging for a bigger ballroom.
No.
Well, they fuck about first world problems. Like the old ballroom only could hold 100 people. We need a bigger ballroom.
Yeah. Talking about tents, we had to set up tents and everything. Like no one was asking for this, dude.
No.
And you know what? I think that same I think it was a New York Times article that, talked to different architects about the stairs lead nowhere. And, this was probably just a grok rendering. They also talked about the price that he's saying that this would cost. And it's several $1,000s a square foot based on what he's telling us, right?
Because of the Corinthian leather and tiles and columns.
That article was talking about like historians, architectural historians talk about like the fact to do that job may cost you $1,000 a square foot.
Yeah. I mean, was this supposed to be economical? Did anyone think this was going to come in under budget or something?
Well, I mean, people are starting to think like maybe there's something underground going on here beyond, they have different areas, bomb shelters and stuff like that down under. But
it's the White House, and he's not supposed to discuss any of that.
No, and he's talking about tunnels leading to other places. And I mean, just all this shit. Just shut up, dude.
Of course. Listen, I have no doubt that there are things underneath it, bomb shelters or bunker. Yeah, sure. It is the White House, and this asshat at the most will be there another 3 years. So, yeah, I mean, I do want things set up properly for some future president to survive an attack or whatever, but it is no excuse for what the hell he is doing, and it's no excuse to do it unilaterally.
Yeah.
To just, like the judge said, you don't own this place. It's not up to you. There's historical things. There's congressional approval. It's money spent, and the bribes do not make it okay. So, but now, of course, Congress is in a very awkward position because you can't just leave a hole there.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to approve whatever it is. So maybe he's just going to have to go back to the drawing board,
I would love it if they said, you got $20 million, spend that on something. You're not getting that thing, though.
$100 makeover. Do it.
Or if they made them do, like, you need to put the old East Wing back brick by frickin' brick, like they do on, some of those HGTV shows, like reconstruct it exactly as it was.
Yes.
And then you can have $200 million for whatever's in the basement that no one will ever see or should ever know about. But no, you're not making some big egomaniac atrocity that the Democrats are just going to turn into a homeless shelter or something,
Yeah, hopefully so, dude. That's a great idea. Soup kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But it's going to be on this long list of things we have to fix that Trump has done. Either take his name off something or repurpose it or, whatever the hell it is. So, yeah.
When you say that, dude, this long list, because we always talk about this, like, this is just, we talk about the pendulum swinging back and forth and how the, Republicans always fuck us up so bad that we have to spend a lot of time playing catch up and make good. And that's why, Obama was great. Okay. Sure. Talking to my brother last night, MAGA brother, and he's like, you know what? I think that if the left didn't go so far to the left, then the right wouldn't push so far to the right. I was like, first of all, why is it our responsibility? Because this asshat that we're talking about right now started this whole thing. You know, I know politics has always been dirty. I'm not naive, but it hasn't been like this. That's why over, I don't know, I'm going to just make an assumption that 3/4 of the population is in deep despair and depression over this whole thing.
Yes, no, for sure. I mean, on one surface level, your brother is right about the political pendulum that we always talk about. But first of all, Biden did not swing it much regardless. He was just a pretty middle of the road, old white guy Democrat.
Yes.
The notion that Obama was extreme or swung it to the far left is just based on the fact that you didn't like a smart black guy that was, doing positive things for the country. And that was the first ever time that Republicans came out and just said, like, it's our goal to make sure you get nothing done. We are going to just stonewall everything. We will not go, fuck democracy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they sort of pushed it to the left. We nudged it to the left, and they, some reason, pushed it over and then used it as an excuse for what Trump is doing now. So,
yeah,
either way, though, careful what you wish for. The pendulum will swing back. I'm actually more in favor of the next president being a little more neutral on things, but don't fuck with us, man. We will fucking elect AOC if you keep pissing us off at age 37 or 8 or whatever she'll be by then. And we'll give her 3 terms, okay? We're just going to vote that in right away.
Got to be better than what's happening right now.
Right. So some reprieve. If nothing else, this might delay things. It's certainly going to piss Trump off. I would love a fantasy where this thing keeps getting delayed, and then President Mark Kelly or President Newsom or President AOC steps in and is like, let me redesign it now that we have time, and it's going to be smaller and more, tasteful. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, it's nice to get a little win. We got to celebrate our little wins right now. It's fucking unbelievable that we're talking about this while we're, killing people in Iran and other places around the world right now.
Sure. No, that's fair. It's more fucked up that the president is talking about it. And
that's what I mean. Yeah.
That Air Force One thing. I mean, that was one of those, again, press gaggles where they're asking real questions. And no one asked, hey, what's the latest on the ballroom? You got any rendering sitting there? That was all him and all ego. So,
yeah.
And we'll get to his next vanity project in a moment. But the other big breaking news that came out just an hour or two ago, judge, again, the third branch actually doing some shit, blocked Trump's executive order to end federal funding for PBS and NPR. And I know that that warms your cockles, Nick.
It does, dude. It does. You know what? A good thing to PBS, who really hung on during this whole thing. They didn't, technically they didn't go anywhere. They were still working, but not at the level that they were. But yes, this does. It makes me happy.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Listen, coming from the world of media, I have my own pet peeves with NPR and PBS. I feel they should, like every other media outlet, like the one that you and I ran for 10 years, should go sell some fucking ads and just make their own revenue and don't rely on the government. Like, that's my own little thing, though. Like, NPR and PBS obviously are doing good things, and moreover, their funding was approved by Congress. The president doesn't get to step in with an executive order and just put an end to that.
Yes. No, completely. Yeah, we've gone back and forth on that because we don't completely agree on it. But, my take has always been like you have to do that when you don't want to be bought and paid for.
I know, but why aren't we bought and paid for then? Why isn't every commercial radio station and TV station like, well, how do we all take money? And by the way, if that's true, shouldn't Trump want to give them tons of money? So he can buy them and pay them, and so they won't be admonishing him when it works.
No, because it's not coming from Trump, dude. It's coming from the government.
Well, his face-it signature apparently is about to be in all of our money.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It is Trump bucks, and I love the idea that's floating around that Trump is apparently going to have his signature on new money, maybe his picture on the $100. They're trying for that, but for sure his signature apparently is coming, which of course bucks every trend. It's supposed to be dead people only or the current treasurer or whatever, like. But I just love this notion going around that under every Donald Trump signature, we should all write is a pedo thing.
Yeah, I love it. You're not supposed to, deface money, but I've never seen anyone go to jail for it. So
I don't know if that's defacing, really. I think you can't destroy it. I think you're allowed to write on it, right?
I don't think so. You're not supposed to, but I mean, I will.
Okay, good. So anyway, so this judge today, citing the First Amendment, federal judge on Tuesday agreed to permanently block the Trump administration from implementing the directive to end federal funding for NPR and for PBS. And on one level, though, the damage has kind of been done to both of them. So the money's going to have to come back, but can they kind of, rebuild or undo the damage? I mean, a lot of the professional broadcasters that run those companies actually do the work, have quit or left over this whole thing. So, we'll see. But NPR, everyone loves NPR in our audience. Like, that thing should be making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine. And if they're not, they're doing something wrong.
NPR to me is kind of like, satellite radio. It's just public funded, like I pay to listen, so.
Yeah. So there you go. So Big Bird, you got some money coming your way. Spend it wisely, buddy. Okay.
Yeah. Oscar the Grouch, dude, gets, a new garbage can thing.
Exactly.
It's a little update. So.
All right. Should we get into our first major story of the day?
Yes. Which one do you want to start with? I'll let you lead it off here, but I've got some videos for some of these, I think. So.
Well, let's talk about the proposed Trump library. I've got a little video tour of the place. Do you have anything supporting it, or?
I've got a showing of it. I've got the whole show.
Okay, perfect. Well, so here's the deal. So we've all seen now in the last 24 hours the first look at the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library for the man who can't fucking read. It's going to be constructed in Miami, Florida.
You can only check out Mein Kampf.
Right. Exactly. It's supposed to be a mammoth skyscraper, and you'll never believe whose name is going to be just slapped on the outside. So, do you have the little tour? Why don't we show it off, and then we can dissect?
Okay. Here we go.
Get your barf bags, everybody.
Yeah.
Ominous music already. I don't like it. But do you see any people of color in this AI rendering, by the way?
Oh, that's funny. I don't see any books either.
Yeah, that's a very good point. There are no books.
Is that the Qatari jet?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the theory, anyways. Apparently, they're going to build the building around it. I don't know how they're getting that in there. I mean, look at that fucking thing.
Oh, if that's not dictatorship.
Oh, this whole thing is an authoritarian's just wet dream.
Yes.
Giant golden statue. That's a recreation of the ballroom, a recreation of the Oval Office right there. And I don't know, there's another video that's got the that Walk of Fame bullshit where he's got all the president's pictures and he has the auto pen of Biden and stuff. Oh, that's going to be part of it as well.
That is just something. I mean, it's just sickening, We were talking earlier about, you've done some videos in the past week and even before that of the AI videos coming out of Iran. And, you made a great point. Like, Trump started this bullshit, and he continues to do it. Why are you releasing stuff like that, dude? It is such a wet dream for him to be adored and admired. And, I guess anybody at the end of the day, most people want to be remembered, but not like that, dude. Like, I want my family to remember and still talk about me, stuff like that. Like, that's just crazy shit to see that gold statue.
Oh, I mean, the whole thing is just, pure Trump. I mean, that is, I guess, what in Trump's brain would be the perfect building. The giant gold statue. Nick, I don't read the Bible often, but doesn't the Bible frown on worshiping like golden idols, or isn't that in there somewhere?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
no awareness of that whatsoever. And yes, the the comment section is lighting up here. Midas Simon pop-up books. Yeah, that might be in there. Trump Library opens at midnight, closes at dawn. Yeah. It's going to be huge. Yes. I mean, some of these jokes write themselves.
Yeah.
It's going to be the most vandalized library in history, says Eleanor's. Like, they better make that building graffiti proof, or it's going to get tagged more than a porn star, right? I mean,
yeah, you bet, dude. And you know, libraries just in general are notorious because you could go there for free and hang out, right?
right? No,
Yeah,
I can't
will there
imagine
be
that.
a charge to get in that one?
I'm sure some sort of $1 million donation to the whole thing.
Right.
And by the way, I mean, first of all, I'm sorry, City of Miami. I mean, that you guys are going to have to deal with this shit and the construction of the zoning, assuming it all gets approved. But all jokes aside, like, yes, it is going to be a heavily vandalized and spit on and urinated on, building.
Yeah.
But I would also think it's going to be, and I'm being serious here, just a huge bullseye for a terrorist attack. I mean, it's literally a golden homage to Trump with his name on it. So it's like they always used to say the World Trade Center towers in New York City were sort of this target because of the symbolism of them rising above the skyline. Like, I would think if I was Iran or if I was some future terrorist organization, like, yeesh, that would be target number one.
Well, you remember when Saddam Hussein, like, we watched the statues topple, dude. You're right. I mean, let's go in for the statue and take this out and make a point of what we're doing here. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying it is a risk.
No, absolutely. And, this is, again, like we were talking about with the ballroom, this is just an homage to bribery, to Trump corrupting our entire fucking system, because Trump is claiming that this whole thing will be paid for by donations to his library fund, bribes. What'd you say, tips?
No, this will be?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, he's already been earmarking money to go for paying for all this stuff.
I didn't know that.
Oh, the money will be there, and we've already heard about some of this. Trump has been earmarking many millions that have been paid partially in media lawsuits to go towards this presidential library. That includes $22 million from the legal settlement with Mark Zuckerberg after Trump was suspended from his platform for the January 6th, riots and lying about the elections. He sued, Zuck settled to appease him.
Yes.
So 20 plus million there. The library will also be funded by the $16 million settlement from Paramount CBS and the $15 million from ABC News. So, I mean, there's $50-60 million already set aside because he is twisting people's arms. Meta, ABC, CBS, and these idiots, all wanted to just pay him off, and that's in part where it's going for. Or as Noodle Fence calls it here, the Epstein Library.
Yeah, I was going to wonder, like, you should put it on an island, dude. It would be more apropos. But.
Right. Will there be a giant kids section in this library? Will that be the only full of pop-up books, like Midas was saying? I mean,
jeez, dude.
So, yeah, and anyone else who wants to funnel any sort of money, this is the path to bribe Trump for his big, beautiful building that he wants to build. And Whoopi Goldberg said it looks like a giant penis. And, that's on par, right? Since he's a giant cock.
Yes, I think
he doesn't
right.
have one. He is one.
He's got from what Stormy Daniels says, he's got a little mushroom dick. So
I was going to say, that would have been the more appropriate phallic way to build this, a mushroom-shaped Trump tower that was about 3 stories tall, not 50 that atrocity is.
Yeah.
And what's up? Replicas of the ballroom and the Walk of Shame and the Oval Office. Like, boy.
I think that goes to exactly what you were saying before about, like, hey, the White House isn't your house, dude. Like, you're a renter there. Like, he knows at some point in time he's going to have to leave that. It's like us building the first radio station we ever worked at, Control Room, because we never want to leave. Like, it's our best times. I was in control of everything. I was at my height, Yeah. Jeez, dude. It's just, you think about, like, we call this out all the time in the real fucking world of people that are in power positions taking advantage of women in the workplace, This is the ultimate example of just abuse of power. This is crazy. I know it's legal for him to do this, maybe, but this is an abuse of power. You can't say it's not.
Oh, of course. But as with everything Trump, that's what it is. It's almost more appropriate that he's using bribe money to pay for it all. As Mugzers here says, there will be a huge golden shower in the center.
Yes.
That would be funny. There is going to be a golden escalator. That's also in the full AI rendering, just like the one he came down in Trump Tower and started this hellish life that we're all living in now.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, dude. And you know what? The only thing that I can even think of that is sadder than this is, Kid Rock lives in a recreation of the White House.
I do. The
Right.
Southern White House.
Southern
outside
White
Nashville.
House.
Yes.
So, yeah, well, we've got a story on him I'll get to later. But they were doing a tour of it. And I mean, he's got it down to like the golden urinal bathrooms and stuff. I'm just like, dude, you really, really suck the taint of this man.
No, it's a little disturbing, quite frankly. That I just when a Democrat takes over the White House, is Kid Rock gonna demolish that stupid thing or what? But
No.
yeah, and listen, there may be some level of irony. The fact that Trump is a big climate change denier and he's building his library in Miami, which is on like the top 10 list of U.S. cities that may end up underwater in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Shoreline's rising, dude.
Right. It may become the Trump presidential reef that you can go scuba dive at and enjoy the irony of a president that ignored climate change and now his phallic little library towers,
Bravo, dude. That's a great story to think about. That would be wonderful.
I'm not wishing that on you, Miami. I know you're a fun, hip city, but good grief. So, so there you go. That's something right there.
All
Not
right.
something good, but
Not
that's
something
something
good.
right there.
Yeah, that is definitely something. So,
Yeah.
we'll see
Do
what
you want to
happens.
get into Kid Rock or where else you want to go with this?
We can get into Kid Rock. It's not that long. Let's talk about this. Kid Rock just hanging out at his house, Nashville, Tennessee. It's just a mundane Monday, for crying out loud, with Kid Rock at his fake.
The Army investigating this video showing an Apache attack helicopter hovering directly in front of the Nashville, Tennessee home of Kid Rock on Saturday. Another doing a flyby above it. The singer, standing beside a replica of the Statue of Liberty, is seen clapping and then saluting the crew before they fly away.
And then open fire.
Kid Rock, a staunch MAGA supporter of President Trump, with a sign reading "The Southern White House" over his head, posting the video online saying, "God bless America and all those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to defend her," while disparaging California's Governor Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
The Apaches are part of the 101st Airborne Division, based 60 miles to the north in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Basically, dude, to finish this thing out, the
For a training exercise.
the Army said they're going to investigate this.
They've already suspended the crews of both helicopters.
How long do you think that'll last? You think it's just hanging? Because, I mean, Pete Hegseth is going to hurrah this and be like, we're just showing America, dude. America.
Right. I mean, here's the problem. Yeah, they did suspend them today. That is pending further investigation, which is probably a pretty standard thing to do. But you've hit the nail on the head as always, that ultimately, no matter who approved this, no matter whose idea it was, no one's going to get punished because, yes, this is a pro-Trump thing. Kid Rock is his little bitch. So whether it's Hegseth or Trump, somebody will step in and give these dummies a Purple Heart or something for being so brave as to fly by Kid Rock's place. And I would be willing to bet that it was the pilots themselves. Well, because they were out on a training mission, that they just decided, hey, we're out training. We got the right to fly. Let's go cruise by Kid Rock's place. Because there's no way somebody ordered that.
No, dude. When I first saw it, I was like, you know what? When I was younger, Maverick did a flyby on the tower, right? I mean, and that was a movie, and it was entertaining because it was a movie and not real.
You still got in trouble, though.
He did get in trouble. But this is bullshit, dude. I mean, I don't understand why all of you red fuckers are not up in arms thinking about, I don't want my military spending our money this way. You know how much it costs to do that?
Of course. And I don't give a shit if they were already out at a training drill. Of course, it's a waste of time and money, not to mention dangerous getting that close to a house and a guy standing out there. And a lot of people felt they were doing buzz flybys of the No Kings protest and that was going on in Nashville. And the Army's denying it all. They're saying it was a training exercise. But I will tell you, in Lake Tahoe several years ago, where I often hang out at, there was a Black Hawk helicopter, and you guys can go look this up on YouTube, that was on a training mission, and the pilots just thought it was their helicopter, and they're out dicking around, and they hovered right over Emerald Bay, one of the most famous spots in Lake Tahoe by Finette Island there. And I think it was one of the lower skids of the helicopter ended up dipping into the water, and the whole helicopter got off tilter, and they crashed the fucking helicopter. And
unreal, dude.
I mean, huge waste of money, obviously. Those things aren't cheap. But in the investigation, it came out that, yeah, they were on a training run. And technically, they're told, go fly around and train. You're not supposed to do dumb, stupid, wasteful things like that. But
yeah,
I'm assuming that's going to be the result. And yeah, but Trump or Hegseth, they'll throw a parade for this. I mean, it's absurd.
I hate the fact too, dude. I know this is petty, but I hate the fact that he sits up there and salutes him like he's some kind of cosplay fucking hero, that he has, done anything to sacrifice for America. Like, I know technically you can do that, but
I was always told you shouldn't.
No.
That unless you have served yourself,
Yes.
that you're not supposed to faux salute someone because you didn't serve. You probably aren't doing it correctly and everything else. So.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, it would have been funny if they did open fire. Like,
would have been great, dude. And I wish that. Well, I guess I can't say that.
Yeah, I hear your thoughts already, and yes, I wish them that as well. But
Yeah.
So there you go. And yes, Kid Rock has a fucking replica White House. That's stupid.
So stupid. I don't know how that guy gets any friends, dude. Like, I just don't get it. If I showed up to that, I'd be like, what the hell is this, dude? You got
Nope.
issues.
Something is not as it seems there, as is the case in Kristi Noem's world, which our audience is ahead of us. Nick and I never exactly know what our thumbnail is, but you're all talking about the Kristi Noem story today.
Yeah.
Boy, that's an interesting one. Boy, I didn't see that one coming. I mean, I've been predicting Ice Barbie would be fired for a while, and she was fired from that job, reassigned to some bullshit made-up job. But when I got up today and saw this headline, I thought, like, did The Onion take over the New York Times? Because what am I reading right now?
Kristi Noem's had a bad month, things have been rough for her. But yeah, the report alleged Byron Noem posted compromising photos of himself in women's clothing, including using balloons for fake breasts and pink hot pants.
Yes. I think his name is Brian. I think he just spells it stupidly with an O. Who spells Brian like that?
Kristi Noem's husband.
Okay, good. There you go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, devastated by the report that her husband is a crossdresser. Which Nick and I are not here to hate upon that. That is fine. Do whatever the hell you want to do, but don't be part of a party that shuns all that stuff. Trans for everyone and cross-dressing this and gay that. And here's Kristi Noem's husband cross-dressing and talking to exotic dancers and whatnot online, sharing his personal information.
Yeah, hundreds of messages to sex workers in the bimbofication fetish scene. Again, I'm not here to comment on any of that. Just the hypocrisy of, when you guys talk about child molesters, well, I guess you don't care anymore because of the Epstein files, but when you talk about child molesters, you're molesting children. I mean, it seems that way a lot of the time. Projecting, dude. We see it over and over again. We know that when any red function comes into town, on a large scale level, we'll see it shut down Grinder.
Right.
Like the atrocity in that is fucking let your freak flag fly, dude. I don't care what you're doing. Like, just be honest, be real about it, and then don't jump back into your suit and your office and take a marginalized community and punch down on them with politics.
Oh yeah. Well said, as always. No, you're right. Every time it's some, elected official caught in an arrest stop, blowing truckers, of course, it's always conservatives.
Yeah.
Because, yes, they're definitely projecting. They're also repressing these freak flags. And we say freak flag in a positive way. Like, people, I thought the Republicans were like, stay out of my bedroom and let me live my life. Don't tread on me. Yet they're the ones always trying to look in your bedroom windows and don't do this and don't stick it in that hole and make sure you're doing it this way and not that way. But yeah, it is hilarious. Now, this does, to me at least, explain why their marriage has not fallen apart. We have all talked about the fact that Kristi Noem is fucking Corey Lewandowski. They call it DC's worst kept secret. And I've always been like, why is her husband putting up with this? This must be humiliating him publicly. But now we know he was probably checked out of that marriage and don't pay attention to me, Kristi. Let me just go online and have my own fun. You're fucking hideous anyways with your Mar-a-Lago face.
Yes. Here's the thing, dude. When you don't make secrets, when you don't live a secret life like this, I mean, you don't have to be out yelling about all your fetishes or whatever you're into. But when you make secrets like this, this is the only time it becomes dangerous. Megyn Kelly had a lot to say about this whole thing. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let's watch Megyn Kelly.
It's okay if he's 13.
Boy, this platform, dude, is being real slow today. I don't like that at all.
We get a comment from Kristi Noem, who tells the New York Post she's devastated by these allegations. It's some representative of hers saying she is devastated. The family was blindsided by this. They ask for privacy and prayers at this time. I mean, she's got them. She's got them. This is not what you want to see if you are married to anyone, to find out that this level of betrayal has happened. This speaks to somebody's entire character. The fetish, yes, but the lying, the deceit, the money, the getting off with another person, not your spouse, all of it is very dark and dirty and disgusting. And I'm sure whenever she found out, whether it was today or previously,
5 years
I'm
ago.
sure it's made her skin crawl. Like it's making our skin crawl.
Oh, making my skin crawl, you slut.
Fuck you, Megyn Kelly. I mean, okay, now, first of all, I don't know why that little banner said that he's gay. Like, where did that come from? Even if he's cross-dressing, that doesn't make him gay.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's
And
just
I will
slime,
agree with
dude.
her point that if you're talking and texting with someone, sexting with someone and getting off, like, that is a form of cheating. That is not cool.
Sure.
It's a betrayal of your marriage. But
Sure.
I don't think their marriage has been healthy for a long freaking time.
No.
But to say, oh, it's disgusting and it's dirty, like, fuck you, Megyn Kelly, who defended Epstein just a couple of months ago that, hell, he's trying to get with 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds, not like 8-year-olds. Like, I mean, screw you and your hypocrisy.
Yeah, she's so slimy, dude. I can't with Megyn Kelly. She's just a terrible person.
No. Do you buy for a second that Kristi Noem had no idea?
No, of course, dude. Yeah, she's been having the affair. We all knew about it. We don't see them together, whatever, dude. You can do what you want. Just, it's the hypocrisy that comes out, the projection that I'm not a fan of. But Donald Trump did make a comment on this whole thing, and he didn't do it himself, but here.
Trump is now weighing in on the story about Kristi Noem's husband being a cross-dresser who wears... and it's just crazy. Trump just reacted to the news saying, wow, well, I feel badly for the family. If that's the case, that's too bad. I mean, he's speaking as if like somebody died.
Right. Yeah. Like you feel bad for the family. I mean, look,
he's projecting right there because he knows in any scandal, like the million that he's done, that the family is the one who's going to suffer
completely.
So he's not completely wrong about that. But again, Brian Noem, just own your shit and divorce her already. She's been an embarrassment. Although it sort of seems like they're the perfect couple because they both like to play dress up.
Yeah, that's true, dude. You're right. I didn't even think about it that way. Maybe she's the one that got him into all the dress up stuff.
He's been watching her run around dress up in all these outfits for the last year. He's like, you know what? I want to play dress up too.
I want to have some outfit. Like, yeah.
She got fake boobs. I think I want some fake boobs. Like, what am I missing out on here?
Oh my gosh, that's funny, dude.
So now the prediction, how quick until they declare divorce? Because you got to figure Kristi Noem has been begging for a reason to divorce him so that she could, go off and officially bang Lewandowski.
Well, yeah, this is what they needed, to be real with you, for her to say, you know what, Trump party, I need prayers right now. Can you believe what my husband that I was faithful to did? You say, give your prayers to me. And now she can be someone we feel bad for and they can just get a divorce,
Again, she has been flat out cheating on her husband that everyone in the government, everyone at DHS knew was going on. They had the private plane that they were in the back of. Like, fuck you. I don't care if he's jerking off online with some model when you're out banging your lover on taxpayer money. Yeah. So you save your prayers for someone else, because I don't think God gives a flying fuck what the hell he just did to you.
Yeah, to ask for prayers for that, dude. My God, dude, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely ridiculous. So, yes. But do show him how to put fake boobs on. Do you see what, one nipple was way up here and the other nipple was way down here or something? Like,
yeah, they were a little
Kristi,
off.
help your husband out.
Yeah, you could help Brian out a little bit.
Right.
Other big things are happening aside from those big boobies, Steve. I thought this was a great question coming into Caroline Leavitt. We love to see her spin her web of lies or web of something. This is how this whole thing started. This is another thing that has just been pissing me off so much lately. We'll get to the question, but this is how Caroline Leavitt walked into the press room.
Good afternoon, everyone. Could you hear our amen in there? We just said a little loud prayer as a team. In this Holy Week, President Trump and the First Lady are joining in prayer with Christians celebrating the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
We didn't hear your amen, and you shouldn't have been saying it loud, because according to the good book, that's not how you're supposed to pray. You're supposed to do it in private and shut up about it, dude. You don't have to always talk about, like I prayed last night. We were just praying in there. Did you hear that big amen?
Right. You're not supposed to boast about it and rub it in people's faces.
No, not so. I mean, if you're going to follow the book, follow the book,
Right. I mean, I am all for the separation of church and state. I'm not a fan of organized religion, but what these assholes are doing with this cult-like prayer circles that show up there, the video of them speaking in tongue outside of the Oval Office, everyone putting their hands on Trump in some weird cult-like fashion, Hegseth leading prayer circles in the fucking Pentagon, Caroline Leavitt coming out and bragging about we were all. Meanwhile, you got a fucking cheating felon president who just built a golden, or wants to build a golden idol to himself. Yeah. We already know there's the other golden statue that he's going to pay for to put it to Doral. It's just fucking the hypocrisy. It really hurts my head.
It doesn't bode well for. Here, listen to this question, because this is an honest question to Caroline Leavitt, and the answer to this question doesn't line up with the fact that you were just praying, because when you pray, you're supposed to be lifting people up and caring about people, right?
Yeah, right.
So listen to this, dude.
This morning said we might be blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, oil wells, Hard Island, and possibly all desalinization plants. Under international laws, striking civilian infrastructure like that is generally prohibited. Why is the president threatening what would amount to potentially a war crime with the U.S. military? And how do you square that with the administration repeatedly saying that the U.S. does not target civilians?
Look, the president has made it quite clear to the Iranian regime at this moment in time, as evidenced by the statement that you just read, that their best move is to make a deal, or else the United States Armed Forces has capabilities beyond their wildest imagination, and the president is not afraid to use them. That's not what I said, Garrett. And you're saying the word potential for a reason, because I'm sure some experts are telling you that in your ear to try to ask me that question.
Right.
Of course, this administration and the United States Armed Forces will always act within the confines of the law. But with respect to achieving the full objectives of Operation Epic Fury, President Trump is going to move forward unabated, and he expects the Iranian regime to make a deal with the administration.
To that end, which of those objectives would destroying a desalinization
ahead.
plant most help?
Haley, go.
Right, I mean, you're talking about. I mean, that's a solid question, right? Like,
Of course.
you cannot go do all that. I mean, that's genocide. I mean, if you wipe out a civilization of people, we're doing it in Cuba right now, dude. Ever since we went into Venezuela and they don't have any oil. I have read an article today that not only are they having problems because they don't have any energy over there, that the hospitals, they don't have any health care happening for their citizens. They don't have food. Like, this is not warfare, dude. This is not how you are supposed to attack a country.
Of course. I mean, it is one thing to be going after military targets, you know.
Yes.
We shouldn't be doing it with Iran, period, because, you know, it's a whole other story. But, I mean, to go after civilian infrastructure, to make sure they don't have clean water or electricity. And while you're just saying you were praying to Jesus, and while Hegseth is leading prayers, praying for death to our enemies, like, it's, of course, the height of religious hypocrisy. And I'll translate her thing about potential war crimes. We've gotten away with several war crimes already, so I don't see what one more would really
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, fuck all of you. No accountability here for anything ever.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. The old double tap. It doesn't matter, dude.
Right. No.
And it is
Caroline.
really interesting for her to continue to talk about, you know, like, we're trying to really build the Iranian people up, you know, we're there because they're killing protesters and stuff like that. But
We're going to starve them.
yeah, they won't have the energy to protest. We'll take away their water and their food.
Go overthrow your government. You won't have clean drinking water to do it, so get some Gatorade and get electrolyted up. Like,
So fucking gross, dude.
and speaking of Caroline Levitt, have you heard the story about how they are briefing Trump every day on the war in Iran?
No, I haven't.
And this goes to what I was joking about earlier with the presidential library that will have no books because Trump, I don't know if he can or can't read. We've heard many stories, including cast members from SNL saying he reads at about a fifth grade level, but he certainly does not read. And we heard in his first term that they were giving him like one-page bullet points. Well, now they've gone even full, like just current modern day, nobody has any attention span. Donald Trump's top war goons are briefing the president with 2-minute long highlight reels showing stuff blowing up, one official revealed. While other Trump allies are concerned that the clips may not fully capture the overall situation on the ground. They're showing him sizzle reels every morning of us blowing stuff up and then be like, okay, Mr. President, on to the next thing.
Unbelievable, dude. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I am.
Yeah. And for an official to say it may not fully capture the entire situation on the ground. Gee, you think. You're showing him a video game montage. This is the president. Right. And one current official said Trump has shown a condensed video montage because, quote, we can't tell him every single thing that happens.
Yes, you can, dude. Yes, that's what you're supposed to fucking be doing.
Of course. So you're telling me our military is running autonomously, only showing him select, you know, things that make him look good or that he wants to see. But I mean, we can't bother the guy with everything. So there are things going on that the president does not know about, is what that official just confirmed.
That would show me, dude. It's time. It's time to, you know, the 25th. Let's get him out of there, dude. He's not mentally healthy if he's letting that stuff happen.
Yes, but this is the problem. His cabinet would have to do the 25th Amendment, and they're the ones that might be, you know, overtly manipulating him right now by going through a war without admittedly telling the president everything that's going on. Not that if they did, that he would have some nuanced analysis of it or something, but
right.
Just the fact that you're saying, like, nah, we just show him a little quick sizzle reel, like when you're flipping through, you know, TikTok in the morning, we show him one of those.
Yes.
That's all.
And
we do things.
That is just completely nuts to me, dude, that that is happening. And, you know, this is reminiscent of this thing that I heard about a long time ago. It was called Project 2025, where it was like, hey, we'll set this whole thing up behind him and then use his power to do everything we want to do. Yeah. It's a tremendous story. But if you think that any of this is just by circumstance, how do you feel about this comment if you're on Trump's cabinet?
Oh, boy.
Thing that
losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
Wow. I mean, again, he was speaking the truth right there.
Yes, dude.
You know, that's the only good thing about when Trump goes off the script. He just starts speaking whatever is in his head. It does not have a filter. And man, what a little man you are.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about other successful people. Only talk about me and my statues and my accomplishments. And yeah, of course, what a fucking insult to anyone in his orbit that he picked you because you're a loser with no real resume.
Little Marco. Remember, these all started out with degrading you. You know, Ted Cruz, Little Marco, like all of you at one point were told you were losers. And you stood up and said, I want to work for that guy.
Right.
So, you know, he hasn't hit it. You guys are losers, and he's just using you. So, yeah, it is nice to hear him talk, you know, so openly and honestly, because we don't see it that often.
No, Midas Simon, correct. Malignant narcissist, absolutely. I mean, you know, Trump lies more than any other elected official in the history of everything in planet Earth. But there are times where he is bitterly honest, and it's those moments.
Yes.
Not when he's talking about budgets or numbers or anything, but when he talks about, you know, I want that statue in Venezuela, or I want that award given to me, or yes, right there. I just want losers around me because he wants to hear that. I can't remember what actor it was, but he said that he went out to dinner with Trump, and it was just Trump talked all night about Trump this and Trump that, and just no one else could get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, he does. He loves to talk about himself, obviously. You remember when we were, in high school, I remember I always used to hear like, oh, you know, a man thinks about sex, 28 times an hour, whatever it was, every 2 seconds. Or what? Well, Trump is still doing the weave, and you can tell what's on his mind here.
I want to just thank everybody very much, and I'm asked to take a few questions. And unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Well,
that's our president. Algebra to me would be my
right. Yes, that would be the quietest meeting ever.
Listen, I have always said that the difference between a good guy and a bad guy is the good guys know when to keep their fucking mouth shut for whatever thoughts are going through their head. Because, yes, I think about sex a lot and I have a lot of thoughts in this world, but they stay up here 99% of the time because I have a filter that this is not an appropriate setting. This will be creepy or pervy or whatever else. But, yeah, he, of course, just lets it fly because, again, he's just been placated his entire life. But yeah, another moment of honesty. Who wants to talk about anything? Sex? Anyone? Sex? Let's talk about sex. It's like when he was on Fox News last week and the woman asked a serious question. He was like, hey, remember when we had lunch at Trump Cafe? And you look even prettier now. Yeah.
No, he can't. He can't, dude. And you're right. When he does the weave, he says all the stuff that we actually need to hear from him.
They have to open up the strait of Trump. Hormuz.
Not a joke.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say he accidentally said no. There's no accidents with me.
I meant
not too many.
Yes.
If there were, we'd have a major story.
He's correct. It was not an accident. He said it on purpose because if Iran came to him today and said, we'll name it the Strait of Trump if you stop bombing us, the war would be over instantaneously.
Yes, completely.
I hate this man.
I know. It's unbelievable to hear some of the stuff that he says. He's been on this train lately of pretending he didn't mean to say things like he does here. When you're talking about something as serious as the lives of another country, the human beings.
I have to use it, but sometimes you have to use it. And Cuba's next, by the way, but pretend I didn't say that, please. Pretend I didn't say that. Please, media, please disregard that statement. Thank you very much. Cuba's next.
Dude, I don't understand how he's still in office. I mean, he's obviously cognitively not well. We've known that Trump's been an asshole and a narcissist for a long time, but you can't watch this man any further. I was telling Steve earlier, we were talking, and I said, do you remember when Biden had the debate where all of us Democrats kind of walked away from him and were like, whew, what was that, dude? That was
the debate
scary.
that ended his political career. Yeah, because we can all see he was not well, and unlike their team, like when it becomes that obvious, like holy shit, that's not okay.
Yeah, unbelievable, dude. I mean,
how far will it go before we have that moment with Trump?
I don't know. I don't know, dude, because I don't see anything happening. There was another poll that just came out with our buddy over at CNN. This is just a quick poll.
Now has the worst net approval rating among independents of any president ever at this point in term 2. He is worse than Richard Nixon.
Oh, that's terrible.
Dude, the fact that he is worse than Richard Nixon almost by 10 points. But again, it's with independents. You know, we're going to need, which helps us a little bit if you stop voting independent.
Well, yeah, I mean, the independents are the people we tend to need because they're the ones that could tip the scale one way or the other, and they probably tipped it for Trump last time.
Right.
But that, I believe, was at least one of the polls that Harry Enton there did in response to that mega poll we talked about a week ago, where 100% of mega said that they supported Trump, and then Trump touted that thing. And so CNN went back on a day or two later like, hey, Harry, can you give Trump a reality check of what you really meant by those numbers? And he dissected it. Let me take the wind out of your sails, because saying if you're mega, do you support Trump? It's just the same as saying, are you a Trump fan? Yes. Oh, do you support him? Well, obviously, if you're calling yourself a Trump fan, if you're calling yourself mega. And then he broke it down to all the demographics like that of just how terrible he's actually doing.
100% of Ford lovers would rather, push a Ford than drive a Chevy.
Yes. So it means nothing. And CNN also had a great little infographic the other day when they were talking about Trump naming all of this stuff, whether it's wanting airports with his name or bridges, or the Strait of Trump is on the table now. They put up a graphic of every president, how many things presidents named after themselves. And it went all the way down the entire history of presidents, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Every president was 0. You get to Trump, and the number's 10 as of now.
Unbelievable. Yeah, of course it's 0, dude. We don't do it.
Right. And how long, by the way, they had another funny one about how long it took for other presidents to get, their faces or name on money. It was 150 years, 87 years. Trump now while he's in office.
Can you imagine if we put a coin out to the mint with Barack Obama on it, or Joe Biden? This is ridiculous.
They would freak the fuck out.
Yes.
So there's all of that. I do want to talk real quick about this. I like to always bring up the fact that it seems like whenever there's a public shooting in this country, and not the one in a mall or a church or whatever, but like when there's a public official that is shot at, that we never seem to hear anything about it after the initial story comes and goes. And I'm not trying to elevate Charlie Kirk to that level, but Charlie Kirk was obviously a huge news story, and then it just died and went away, and his alleged shooter has been going through his court stuff, and we really hear next to nothing about it.
Yes, it's kind of, from the beginning, we didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, they wanted so desperately to paint him as just some devout liberal, and they tried early on, and there were some things that were liberal and something that were conservative, and they really couldn't do it. So I feel like they just stopped. And I know there's been people like Candace Owen and whatnot that have been saying this whole Charlie Kirk thing is a conspiracy, and they framed this guy, or he's the false flag, someone else took him down, but news came out today that I don't know what to do with, but this seems rather major to me. Bombshell in the case of Charlie Kirk's accused assassin revealed today the bullet used in the assassination of Charlie Kirk reportedly does not match the rifle tied to his accused shooter, Tyler Robinson, according to multiple reports citing court documents in the case. What?
Yes.
The bullet doesn't match the gun that he had and he threw in the bush or whatever? How? What sense would that make? How could there not be more going on?
So, I mean, first of all, when I read that, I was just like, no shit. This guy was set up for sure. I'm not saying he's not a bad guy, possibly, but, come on, there's more to the story. What people are talking about, including his lawyers, that they can't get it to match. They can't get an exact match, is what they're saying. And ballistics professionals are coming out and saying, like, yeah, that happens sometimes. Like, you can't get, even if it came out of that gun, you can't get it to match. So
usually the bullet has to be like destroyed, though. Like, why wouldn't they be able to get an exact match? And how would this not, the entire case not fall apart then?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, we'll have to see where this goes, because I think they're asking for more time now, are they not? Is that part of the story? The lawyers are asking for a little brief break.
Yeah, I actually don't know, but I would assume they would be. I mean, if you're claiming you're innocent and you can't tie your gun to the bullet, like, hello, that would be pretty hard to prove.
Yeah.
He could simply say, yeah, I was up there. Yeah, I had a gun. I was going to shoot him, but someone else did first. Like, what me?
Yeah, it's inconclusive is basically what Midas Simon is saying, and that's what that's what both attorneys know and are talking about right now. What that means, you would think it would blow it all apart. I mean, there's reasonable doubt there.
Right. MTG came out today with the tweet. She said, quote, "The ATF cannot match the bullet to Tyler Robinson's gun, and when the news breaks, the sheriff resigns," which is true. The sheriff in charge of that case resigned today. He didn't connect the dots that it maybe has anything to do with the Charlie Kirk case, but that is weird that major news comes out that your case is falling apart and then the sheriff resigns.
Yeah. Coincidence? There's too many coincidences, dude, for a lot of this stuff.
Right. So we shall see, but that's a very interesting update that randomly came out. So,
yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, there's no reason that I can see why they wouldn't have had a fantastic quality investigation. You were surrounded in cameras. There were people everywhere. There was a live crowd there. We never saw his body. We never saw. There's so much stuff there that, like, you didn't want an investigation, a real investigation when it came to this.
Come on, Kash Patel's in charge. Are you suggesting any incompetence could possibly happen under his watch?
He was wearing a very tight FBI jacket that he borrowed from a female colleague, right, when he was doing it. So,
I mean, Kash Patel's got each eye looking at different aspects of the story. I doubt anything would slip by him. So,
yeah, you wouldn't think so.
All right, if there's anything breaking to get to, do that. Otherwise, we got to wrap this up.
All right. Well, yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay, very good. All right, everyone. We are over our hour, and my son is standing at a bus stop, so I should probably go get him. But if you want to contact us directly because we've upset you or you love us, go to thevocalminority.net. Click on the contact button. It'll come right to us.
Yes, and do us a favor, find our podcast on wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate it a whole bunch.
Please. I know you guys are watching us on YouTube, and that's a fun way to do it. But yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, just click subscribe for us. Thank you.
Makes a big difference. All righty then.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we say bye-bye.